Hello everyone. In my previous video, I had discussed some of the concepts, that is toolkits. What are toolkits? What are application programs? What is designing for change and all. So here we'll have to see what are frameworks. Frameworks is a set of cooperating classes that makes up a reusable design for a specific class of software. See, there is a word called as cooperating classes. When you come across a cooperating classes, so it means that there will not be only one class. A group of classes makes one software. It means by using a multiple classes, we are building a software, and that software should be in such a way that it should be a reusable software. So even in my previous video also, much importance was given for the reuse of a software. Any change if you want to do, that should be accomplished easily. That is a smart way of building any application program. For example, a framework can be geared towards building a graphical editors for different domains like artistic drawing. So this is an example which is given, that is, if at all you want editor to be application to be built, so those editors should be built in such a way that by using a classes, and some functionalities are to be added, maybe some drawing a line, drawing a rectangle. Editors means not only the text should be written, some symbols also should be there for in that editing area to be placed. A framework dictates the architecture of your application. Dictates the architecture means a framework will give you one shape of the software. What is that shape? See, it gives you some rules that this is one structure you have to use, and by using some structure, or by using certain classes and all, you can build an architecture. See, framework dictates an architecture of your application. Framework is a big thing, wherein if you want any software architecture to be built, there should be certain rules to be followed. That is, for this particular hardware, a particular software has to be only taken. Let me discuss this by using an example. Suppose if at all I am using Windows 10 operating system. If at all I am using Windows 10 operating system, it will not work in a Pentium 4 machine. It will work in a i5 machines and all. So here hardware and software compatibility is required. So that's why when you are going from when you are building any application, or when you are building any architecture, why I took the example of this Pentium and Windows 10 operating system, because there is a hardware and a software compatibility. Hardware compatibility is i5 is the processor, and for that i5, which is the compatible software means, or compatible operating system means, it is i10 is the, maybe a different lower version also, that is Windows 7 also might be possible. And a framework predefines these design parameters so that application designer implementer can concentrate on the specifics of your application. So if at all you are designing, or if at all you are predefining any application, the framework definitely will help you in identifying what piece of hardware and which applications you can build. A framework captures the design decisions that are common to its application domain. Framework thus emphasizes design reuse over code reuse. So any framework, if at all you are using, it should be in such a way that it should provide the facility of reuse of any application you are using. Next, the added benefit comes when the framework is documented with the design patterns it uses. See, whenever you are building any architecture, or whenever you are building any application program, after the design of that application program, once that application is put into use, it should be documented. Documentation, most of the people will not care much. Why? Because once our final product is ready, we, if at all we neglect that documentation part, that is how we have done that, and whether it is achieved or not, that is, first we'll see whether that our task is accomplished or not. If our task is accomplished, yes, we go ahead for using that. And we'll have to prepare a document on how we have framed the software, or how we have coded, which algorithm is being implemented. So all these concepts are to be written down or systematically. So that will definitely help the software designer whenever any issue comes. Enhancing documentation is important for all types of software, but it's particularly important for frameworks. See, frameworks are those nothing but it's also like patterns itself. It gives certain platform for building with some architecture. Framework often poses a steep learning curve that must be overcome before uh, they they are useful. So whenever you document any uh, software, at that time framework, which framework you have used, or which uh, platform you have used, so all these, if at all you document it, then at that time, whenever you are going for the reusable system, at that time it will help a lot. Because patterns and frameworks have some similarities, people often wonder how, or even if they differ. They are differ in three major ways. Patterns are different. There is slight similarity between a pattern and a framework. Even what is that similarity? We'll see in this slide and the coming slide. Design patterns are more abstract than framework. This is the most important part. Design patterns are more abstract. Abstract means a little, and patterns are more vast. As I told, uh, patterns will give you the blueprint of how an application can be developed. Application means how a software can be developed, but framework, it may give you the blueprint of how an architecture can be developed. Architecture is a combination of software and a hardware, but a pattern is just an application program which will run on a particular hardware. So that is the major contribution between, or major difference between a pattern and a framework. Framework can be embodied embodied in code, because only examples of patterns can be embodied in code. A strength of framework is that they can be written down in programming languages and do not only studied by executing and reused directly. So rather than using all these the sentences, we can say that an abstract means less information is provided by the patterns, or even we can use the term that is, it uses it is used for application programs. And frameworks are used even for an application programs, and even uh, for the hardware part also. Design patterns are smaller architectural elements than framework. Again, the same thing is repeated over here. If at all you see, elements means less components are present. Like for example, if you consider client server. Client server is such a pattern wherein you have two elements. One element is a client, another element is a server. So likewise, if at all you take a framework, a typical framework may contain several design patterns, but the reverse is never true. Okay, so we'll see one framework also in coming days, which is that framework which is using more number of elements. Design patterns are less specialized than frameworks. uh, Frameworks always have a particular application domain. A graphical editor framework might be used for in a factory simulation, but it would be mistaken for a simulation framework. If at all you are using any graphical editor, so at that time, why the graphical editor is taken under a framework? Because since in a graphical editor, more number of icons or more number of facilities may the user is in need of. So people may ask for uh, any kind of the drawing tools or font sizes. So it comes to be as a framework, even though there is no hardware involved, but wherein the elements are more in number. So if the size increases, if the facility increases, then if then it is even called as a framework. How to select a design pattern? So this is also one of the most important thing, how to select a design pattern. With more than 20 design patterns in the catalog to choose from, it might be hard to find one of the one that addresses a particular design problem. So how, if at all we want to select any design pattern for accomplishing our task, how we have to choose among several. There are several, among there are 8 design patterns. We want to solve some of, we want to solve our problem. Among 8, which pattern has to be selected for accomplishing our task? That is the heading over here. How to select among the 8, how we can select a particular design pattern for solving our problem. Consider how design patterns solve design problems. See, how that design pattern, how a particular design patterns is solving a design problem. So if at all we read that section, we will come to know that which is how, what kind of work it does. Okay, next, scan its intent section. Intent is nothing but lists of intent section from all the patterns in the catalog. See, we'll see each and every part one by one whenever we take any example of any one example of a pattern. It will addresses what is the what solution it gives. It will give the intent, means purpose of that design pattern. How, study how patterns interrelate, how one pattern is interrelated with the other pattern. So that should be known to us before any before using any pattern. Study patterns of like purpose. Suppose among 8, if 2 patterns are similar, one needs to clearly understand which is the most efficient pattern for us to use. That is the most important thing before using that. Examine a cause of redesign. Whether this also has to be taken care whenever you are using any pattern, whether it supports redesign or not. Look at the cause of redesign starting on page 24. See, these all things are addressed in the particular pages. Whenever we go for a particular pattern, at that time we definitely come to know that what solution it provides for a problem. Consider what should be a variable in your design. What should be variable means, see, there are certain variables which will be there in a problem, whether that variable is being addressed in that pattern or not. If at all it is addressed in that pattern, so then we can use that, otherwise we don't. Okay, so if at all we come to know these 6 parts or 6 uh, points, then we can select a design pattern. I told you there are certain design patterns. Among those certain design patterns, we have to select some of the design patterns for accomplishing our task. So if at all we know how that pattern can help us, then we can easily select a right pattern for solving our problem efficiently. We can use some pattern. Hope I have cleared these concepts, and in my next video we shall cover the how to use a design pattern. Okay, thank you.